I'm Larry O'Connor alongside Brian Wilson.
And joining us right now, our good friend, all-round decent dude, Stuart Varney, anchor of Varney and Company, seen each day on Fox Business. Stuart, how are you?
Now I'm a dude. I like that, Brian.
You're a very decent dude. Hey, listen, I don't want to put you on the spot. But there's this story out there.
I think you do.
No, I really don't, because I understand the sensitivity that he must feel in me asking this question. But I hear that Rupert wants to buy Time Warner.
Oh, you heard that, did you?
I heard that.
Yeah, so did I. Yes. In early June, he put in a bid of $80 billion to buy Time Warner. That bid was rejected. But essentially, Time Warner is in play. It's up for grabs. And there's all kinds of talk of other huge companies which will and have expressed an interest. Google and Amazon, for example. The story really here is the shift from television to the Internet, which raises the value of the content, the stuff that you watch on the Internet. Well, Time Warner is a prime content kind of company. They've got HBO, Cartoon Network, CNN, New Line Cinema, Warner Brothers, TBS. I mean, it's a long, long list.
Right.
This is content rising in value as the Internet rises in usage as a form of entertainment.
Well, they also own CNN.
Yes, they do. Now, part of the deal, had it gone through, Rupert to buy Time Warner, would be that Time Warner would have to sell CNN because you couldn't have the regulators approve of a mixture of Fox News and CNN together. So there's agreed to that it would have been sold. Now, this morning, the analysts are trying to put a value on CNN in the event that some kind of deal does go through eventually.
Yeah.
And the value is supposedly around $5 billion.
Really?
And supposedly, reportedly, speculation is that Disney and or CBS have an interest.
$5 billion.
That's just Anderson Cooper's hair product.
That's for the number 3 cable news network.
Brian, that was really cruel.
So one can only imagine what you're worth, Stuart Varney.
Hey, by the way, I want you all to know that I was the first person to broadcast for CNN from New York when the network opened in June of 1980.
No
That's
way.
my claim to fame. Yes.
That's a huge claim to fame. I did not know that. I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
It was such a classy place back
I did
then.
not remember that. That means you've been around a while.
Yes, he was 12 years old when he did that.
A mere teen.
Stuart Varney, over the years, I have actually watched you, not since you were a teenager, but I have watched you over the years, and you often remark on the mercurial style of politics down under in Australia. They're a rugged people, but they have a lot of the political correctness forces happening there. It's an interesting country, and the politics changes quite often. But something happened down there that could be quite a bellwether for the rest of the world. They killed off their carbon tax.
Yeah, I think this is a really big headline here in America, even though it took place down under. They have just repealed their carbon tax. That is, the earth moved in Australian politics.
That's
overnight.
huge.
It's been around for close to a decade. It's an imposed tax on carbon emissions. It was hated by manufacturers, the mining industry, and the airlines. They used it to accumulate a lot of money coming into the central treasury in Australia, and then they redistributed it and pushed it out to various welfare groups, actually. That's what happened. It was a redistribution program. And essentially it came down to a political decision. Do we want to pay higher energy prices for this symbolic move to reduce our carbon emissions? And the answer eventually was, no, we don't. Repeal the tax. This has huge implications for President Obama. Because there's a meeting in Paris next year of the UN Climate Council, or whatever it's officially called. They're going to try to get a global agreement on reducing emissions. President Obama's been jockeying for position ahead of that meeting. He's got a war on coal, no pipeline, no fracking, etc., etc., and now stabbed in the back by the Australians. That's really something.
Watch this space. Speaking of the economy, our economy, I mean, at least in the stock market, seems to be just going through the roof. What's fueling that?
In my opinion, it is this. If you've got money to invest, where's the best return? If you put that money into a bank certificate of deposit, or if you put it into a bond, interest rates are so low that your rate of return is virtually zero. You want a rate of return. You want a return on your money. So where do you go? You go to the stock market. You can buy big-name stocks that yield 2, 3, 4% dividend. Always pays you. That's a pretty good rate of return. And with the stock market rally, you've got a capital gain.
Well,
so the money goes into the stock market and not into the bond market or to bank CDs or any place else.
Well, is that exuberance justified?
By the earnings and the profits of the companies which are listed on the New York Stock Exchange, in my opinion, yes, it is. It is true that valuations, so to speak, are getting a little high, a little frothy, maybe, but our technology sector is making money hand over fist. So are various other sections of the economy, notably financials. And you could make the case that a 17,000 Dow is justified.
Stuart Varney, I want to throw this out there with us. You've been sitting in for Cavuto there on the Fox News Channel in the 4 o'clock hour and doing a great job this week. But I noticed while I was watching that you had Weird Al Yankovic on you. You seem to be a big fan of Weird Al. These new songs that he's got out are fantastic.
I think the guy's a genius.
He really?
I really do. Now, maybe I'm going overboard by describing the man as a genius, but what he's doing is he's putting out 8 videos in 8 days. That's his distribution method.
Yep.
It doesn't go on cable TV. He doesn't really put out hardcover albums. No. He relies on clicks on the internet. And the guy's going to make a fortune.
Yeah, he really is. And he, I mean, not only is he brilliant in terms of the distribution method, but, I mean, he's a funny guy. You really look like you were having a good time with it.
Well, yesterday, he's put out this thing about grammar.
Yes, that's what we're playing. We're playing it right now.
So the first question I asked him was, okay, what's wrong with the following sentence? Well, Mother told me to quickly run to the store. And he got it. There's a split infinitive in there.
You split your
Don't split
infinitive.
those infinitives.
How German of you. Thanks, Stuart.
All right, thanks, Stuart.